Let's see. Let's talk to Henry Bolton about the business of building houses in this country for British people, or, shall we say, building them for immigrants. Henry, very good morning to you.
Morning, Mike.
So, Labour's bulldozer approach to the home counties, because they hate everybody that lives in the home counties, of which I no doubt they number you as well as me. You know, you've got a big house, you've got a garden, you've got a Range Rover, you've got a barber, you might have some Wellington boots.
I haven't, Mike. I haven't.
Well, you may not, but, you know, they think you have, and that makes you the enemy of the people. So they're going to, you know, concrete over the entire, you know, fields around you, and they're going to make sure that they can build loads of houses. But the big question is, who are they building them for?
Well, Mike, I mean, that's not the beginning of the problem in a way. The beginning of the problem is we haven't got the people to build them. Right. So this is going to be used as an excuse to bring in more people from abroad in order to build them. Look, we've got nigh on 1 million net, as everybody knows, 1 million net increase in population through immigration every year in this country at the moment. Now, we just simply can't keep up with the housing. So, you know, it doesn't take the brains of an archbishop to work out that if you didn't have those 1 million people coming in each year, then you wouldn't have to build so many houses. Right. I mean, you know, so of course nobody except somebody who's going to take you for an absolute fool is going to try and tell you that these aren't houses for immigrants. Of course they are. Not only that, but it's not just the housing. You know, let's say they go ahead and they build these large sort of new towns. Well, down near where I live, there are 2 such places. They are hotbeds of drug dealing amongst young people, because the young people have got nothing to entertain themselves. It's not like the sort of the villages of old where they could go climbing trees in the woods or whatever they did, but generally sort of, you know, causing a bit of a mischief, but they weren't taking drugs and they weren't getting into real trouble. Right. Now, these young lads and lasses have got nothing to do in these places because there's a little centre where there's a few shops. There's no life for them. And then you've got the whole problem of where they were, you know, which is linked, because these places generally aren't located in areas where there's already work. So there's a whole raft of problems here, Mike. And you know, some of them, they're not directly borders related, but the only way to reduce the pressure on our housing, on our public services, on our roads, our schools, our hospitals and everything else is to reduce immigration dramatically. That's the only way. Now, this is a matter of choice. As you know, it is a difficult choice because over time governments have made decisions which have made the whole thing sort of more and more sort of complex to undo. Because some businesses do rely on this now, and are you going to, for example, if you reduce student visas anymore, then or even the sort of implied promise of being able to stay here in the UK on with the right to leave after leaving university, then if you take those away, then the universities will suffer. But that's because we've got too many universities, thanks to Tony Blair. Right. So there's a whole raft of things that are difficult political decisions, but they have to be taken.
Well, they do. And also, I would take it further and not say just reduce immigration. How about you just stop it altogether? You know, we've got too many people coming into the country, too many people not leaving the country, and we're frankly full up. So I think the time has come to do what Austria's doing, to do what Poland's doing, and to do what Netherlands are doing, and just say, look, sorry, no more immigration, we're closed.
I agree, Mike. I mean, you know, the government's talking about net zero on emissions. Well, we need to be talking about net zero on immigration, at least until our public services and so on have managed to get ahead of the game. Because I was listening to a radio interview yesterday, and in that, you know, they were talking about the NHS, and there was a doctor saying, well, yes, but, you know, we're seeing record patients, record numbers coming into A&E, record people sort of seeking treatment. Yeah, of course you are, because you're increasing the population by 1 million people every year. Yeah. Of course you're seeing an increase. Yeah. Now, you know, there are other reasons for it, I agree, but we are not helping ourselves. And unless we put a block on this, we go to net zero on it, then we're not. Our public services are not going to be able to get ahead of the game and be able to do their job properly.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Thank you very much indeed, Henry Bolton, international border control expert.